Hello, thanks for choosing this video to learn a little bit about the case management services that St.Amant will be providing to families who have children with a diagnosis of autism. My name is Ben Adaman. I'm the President and CEO at St.Amant.
And I'm Debbie Scora. I'm the interim manager for the new case management program that we're offering through St.Amant.
I'd like to begin today by telling you a little bit about why at St.Amant we do the work that we do, not only to support children who have autism or within case management, but across all of our services. No matter what service we provide, and we provide services to very young children, we provide services to adults who are at the end of their lives and need end of life support, and at every point in between. We do our work because we want to support people to reach their full potential and to live their own lives. Now that's going to look a little bit different for every single person we support, and that's why how we provide services looks a little bit different to meet the needs of each individual and their family. All of the services we provide, whether they're short-term clinical supports or 24/7 residential supports, play an important role in a person's life, but we know that the most important relationship a person can have is with their families and the people who are around them in their community. And that is why we honor and support families and natural support systems to play an important role in people's lives, to be involved in decision-making about the ones that they love, and in ways that respect the role of that person in the life of the people we support. Most of all, we want children to grow up with their families, and we want them to thrive in their communities. We want children to be celebrated for their gifts and their skills. We do not want people to be underestimated, and we want everyone to have a chance to be their best selves and to succeed in this world, whatever that looks like for them. And so we do this work because we want to see each person have a meaningful relationship with the people around them. We want people to have valued social roles that give them a sense of purpose and pride. We want people to experience independence. We want their human rights to be respected, and we want each person to have the best quality of life that they can. Now, as I said before, we honor and support all families, and we recognize that you are the expert in your own family. We respect that families set their own path. Our job is to walk alongside you on that journey and support you to access the information that you need to make decisions and support you to access the resources that you need to support your family. And so we respect families. Our role is to provide information, support with advocacy, and respect our role in your life. As case management moves from Children's Disability Services to St.Amant, we want to reassure you that all families will continue to have access to the same services as they did before. That includes therapy services, respite services, and other resources. We also would like to stress that case management is separate from autism programs at St.Amant. For families who are trying to figure out the best therapy option for their preschool-age child, we respect that some families choose to access services from our autism programs here at St.Amant. Those are our ABA, or Applied Behavior Analytic services. But we also respect that for some families, autism programs at the ABA approach is not the approach that fits with their family's values, needs, and preferences. We support all families to understand their options, and we respect their choices, and we will always support families to make the choice that they want to make for their own family. So who are we in terms of as a service provider? Well, we support around 2,000 people of all ages across Manitoba with developmental disabilities, autism, and acquired brain injury. And we support people in all sorts of ways. We provide preschool age therapy services. We provide 24/7 residential supports. We provide supports through a specialized school, a childcare center, and many, many other resources. Across all of those services, what binds us all together is a shared commitment to honoring people's human rights and supporting people to be celebrated as full members of their community. Some of you may know St.Amant as the organization with that big red brick building in the south end of Winnipeg. And you may know us as a place where people would come to live forever. Over the last 10 years and more, we have been on a very deliberate journey of deinstitutionalization. We want to see everybody who can live a good life in the community to have that life in a community. And over the last 10 years, we have supported dozens and dozens of people to leave our facility to enjoy the benefits of community living. And our facility is no longer a forever home for anybody. It is now a short-term resource. Of the people that we support in total, over 1,800 of those people are supported through outreach programs in the community in all areas of Manitoba, from some of the most northern communities in our province, well north of Thompson, for example, all the way to communities right on the southern border of our province. Overall, I would say around 95% of our services are community-based and provided across Manitoba. So in our presentation, you'll hear us use the phrase person-centered practice quite a bit and family-centered practice. So what is it that we mean by family-centered practice? Well, it all starts with partnership. We want to work together with you to support your family. We want to honor each family's strengths, its culture, the traditions and expertise that all members of the family bring with them. Our job is to listen and to support you. We respect that families set their own priorities and goals, and we'll work together with you to help achieve those goals. We want to empower families. We want to build on their strengths. We want to provide information and respect choice. And now I'll pass the floor to my colleague, Debbie, to tell you more.
So first of all, let's talk about what is case management. Case management is helping a family plan, advocate, and connect to available services. This is a service that has historically been done by the province, but in the last few years has begun to be offered by more service agencies such as Manitoba Possible. The job title within government is called a Community Services Worker, or CSW. In April of 2022, the Manitoba government announced $5 million in new funding for children's disability services. The purpose of the new funding is to increase access to therapies for children with disabilities and to strengthen supports for children and youth with autism spectrum disorder and their families in Manitoba. The province has chosen St.Amant to deliver case management services for children diagnosed with autism. Why would we take this on? There are many connections to our mission, vision, and values. Our strategic plan states that our vision for innovation, St.Amant works in partnership to address unmet needs in our community by creating new services and developing more holistic, person-centered supports. Our goals are to have people have the best possible health, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and cultural. As we get to know people and learn how to best support them, we make a conscious effort to know the whole person and all of their needs. We want people to have access to person-centered supports where and when they need them. We take direction from the person, we honor choice and support only where needed and ask rather than assume. Our objectives are to identify service gaps and ways to increase access to services for our community. Also to build partnerships with other service providers to clarify roles, reduce redundancy, and strengthen our community. St.Amant's vision for capacity building includes St.Amant recognizing that it has a leadership role and responsibility in demonstrating and promoting evidence-based practices in the broader community. Some goals are our partnerships have built capacity to thrive in a changing environment. We prioritize our commitment to partnership and to meeting community needs as identified. We lead the coordination of services and create seamless supports with all service providers and other stakeholders in Manitoba. The work also aligns with our values of collaboration, hospitality, excellence, and respect. We're experienced in providing a wide range of compassionate, flexible, and high-quality services to families of children and youth with ASD. Case management will be completely distinct from the autism programs that we have through St.Amant. The case management service will operate within clinical services. Most of the work within clinical services is community-based. We see people in whatever environment they would like. We serve children and adults throughout all stages of life, and we have experience supporting people in rural and remote areas through our provincial program and through our work in services we provide through Jordan's Principle. We serve all families, no matter what therapy choices they make for their children. So who makes up the team? The interim director of clinical services is Amanda Newhook, who goes by Mandy. I'm the interim manager of case management, Debbie Scora, and we are currently recruiting a team of registered social workers who have relevant experience. As registered social workers, caseworkers will need to follow the Manitoba College of Social Workers requirements in terms of professional development, standards of practice, and code of ethics. The number of caseworkers we're hiring is in line with how other agencies currently manage caseloads, including CDS. Who will receive a caseworker? So anyone in Manitoba who is eligible for Children's Disability Services, has a diagnosis of ASD, and who wants a caseworker. The service will continue to be voluntary. How do you access a caseworker through St.Amant? If you already have a CSW or if you're on the wait list, you don't have to do anything. The file will be transferred to us. If you're unsure, or if you don't think you're on the wait list, you can call 204-945-8311 and they'll let you know what the next steps are in order to receive service. There's also a website there that's listed that you can go on to fill out a referral. And there's also, you can get that website off of either Children's Disability Services website or St.Amant's website. If you have a CSW or you're on the wait list, you would have received a letter from CDS. But if you didn't receive that letter or you're still unsure, please call that number. So what does a caseworker do? A caseworker acts as a service navigator, helps identify needs and connect the family with resources, provides the family with information to assist with planning, and provides support and advocacy from diagnosis until adulthood. This is a very general description, and that's because each family is unique, and therefore the services that we provide the family would be tailored to the needs of the family. When you meet with a caseworker, you can review how they'll best support your family. But if you'd like to talk more in detail about how a caseworker can support you, please reach out and we can meet one-on-one to discuss further. So what's the difference between a caseworker and a CSW? It's going to be exactly the same role. The difference will be whether the caseworker is employed by CDS or employed by St.Amant. There's no change to services. It's the same role and same responsibilities. We're going to have access to the same resources, the same services, and the same funding. CDS has been working really closely with us, and they've shared all their policies, procedures, and standards so that we can train our caseworkers to be able to do all the same processes and according to CDS standards. The caseload sizes won't change, and any services that you already have in place will stay in place. For example, if you currently use self-managed respite, you'll continue to do so. The hours, the rates of pay, and the process to submit invoices doesn't change. So how will the transition happen? The transition hasn't happened yet, so we haven't received any personal information from Children's Disability Services. Services will transfer from CDS to St.Amant in phases. This will be determined by our staff recruitment and training. We're planning to start with families in the Western region, as well as the families that are currently waitlisted in Winnipeg. We're working with Children's Disability Services to ensure a smooth, seamless transition. CSWs will inform families about when the transition will happen and will prepare a transfer summary. They will include the minimum amount of information needed for us to do our jobs. The information will be shared following FIA and FIPA guidelines and will be transferred in a secure manner. Once we receive the transfer summary, we will send a letter to the family with the assigned caseworker's name and contact information, and the caseworker will contact the family to set up an initial meeting to begin providing support. We're committed to working with families and learning from them both during and after the transition. We want to provide the best service that we can, and Children's Disability Services is working closely with us each step of the way to help us succeed. In total, we expect to support between 2,500 and 3,000 families through this new service once the transition is complete. So what if you still want more information that's specific to your family situation? My contact information is on the screen. Please reach out and we can set up a time to meet individually to talk about your individual situation. Thank you for listening. And if you still have questions, like I said, you can contact me or you can contact your current CSW. Thanks so much.